Game number 4. Sorry for that red bar again. That just has to do with the fact that my scene switcher is F1, and that's the hotkey for this annoying thing. But welcome back. Game number 4 currently underway. We've got a bit of a change up with the show match now. Spawning in the bottom right corner of the map. He's still Terran. He's still blue. He's up 3-0. It's Xenocider.
In the top left, though, suddenly as the red Zerg, it's Puck.
And that wonderful person whose name I could not pronounce says, "Lol, you can call me Zwick. It's just my name backwards. Love watching you and Zombie Up cast. You guys are the best. Enjoy your stream every time." $20 donation. Wow. Thank you so much, Zwick. I'll try and remember that for the future. But, okay, so this is kind of interesting for me. Puck wanted to raise Strange. We said, sure. Okay, he's not loving the PvT matchup. Nobody really is right now. Zerg is definitely stronger than ever right now, but he did specifically ask for a 2-player map. Now, I'm wondering if this had to do because he wants to do a Nidus Swarm, or he just doesn't want to have to scout.
I think it was because the last 4-player map was Inferno Pools. And basically said, like, no Inferno Pools.
I remember that was, like, the first thing when we were talking about what maps to play, so that's actually a pretty good point.
But it might be because, it's also, chances are, if he wasn't keeping track of how many 4-player maps there were, that they're going to be shorter maps to the 2-player. So, whether it's a Nidus Swarm or just straight up rushing to something, like Ravagers, that will definitely be a good move. The thing about Ravagers is that they're not quite as, like...
What if... Sorry, I'm going to cut you off entirely here for a sec. What if he pulls a page out of our books? It just does the bro stuff.
He also might do that. I mean, the thing is I guess Burrow, along with Ravagers, is that there is some necessity in countering that with your build. For Burrow, it's more about putting a turret down, but for Ravagers, you actually have to seriously consider changing your build to get a tank. Or maybe a Cyclone.
Actually, as you say, I don't think a tank's actually a great idea.
If you stay on in your main base and just wait it out for something else, it can be. But yeah, like Cyclone, like more Marines, like something. But the point is like, not as bad as the Oracle was in Heart of the Swarm. You literally just had to like build to it in the beginning. It still is something you have to build to, and it can actually be more of a threat than even really having to commit to it.
Well, it looks like he's actually not going to go for our tactics. I only bring up our tactics, quote unquote, not like we invented Burrow Roaches here, guys, but 2 big things, unless maybe he did forget that.
I think he doesn't have 6. He doesn't have roaches in the way he's supply blocked.
Well, okay, to talk about this really quick, roaches actually get tunneling claws innately now. You have to research Burrow for them still, but they come built essentially with tunneling claws, so you can actually get across the map. And the reason I said he might do it is because literally every time Zombie and I fought against Puck in Archon mode, whether he's playing with Maximus Black or whether he's playing with Brent or anybody else, we opened with tunneling claw roaches. So that's kind of where I thought he was going with this, but now, as a consequence of perhaps messing that up, or maybe that was just kind of a joke in chat, he may end up just dedicating to the Ravagers now, and that may actually end up being his best bet.
He definitely got supply blocks, so that's definitely a mistake. But in terms of, if he's going to change these to Ravagers, I would say so, just because he is still on gas. I mean, it's a lot of gas, so it's got to go to Ravagers. And here's where we got to start talking about, but while you have defenses, Ravagers are still really good, and they're paired up with Roaches that are still pretty darn tanky. We won't be able to bust this with just Roaches, so we're actually going to lose one very unnecessarily.
It's like, where's my Burrow? Cyclone on the way. I really like the idea of the Cyclone more so than a tank. Again, the tank is not so bad if it's deep enough at the base, as you pointed out, but the idea is that the Ravager's Corrosive Bile can still land on it. You can still focus down so quick, because every single shot of that Corrosive Bile is 60 damage, guys. Get in, get out, launch that damage, and let's not forget the Ravager. It's a little bit weaker than the Roach in terms of health, but it's a lot stronger in terms of damage. Attacks much faster than the Roach does. So going to use some of these to kind of buffer for it, give some vision, get those Corrosive Blasts off on, looks to be the bunkers. Actually, we can't see the targeting reticles.
I thought he was going to try and run past, but a lot of this has to do with, yes, messing up his build a little bit, but also Xenocider bothering to scout and seeing the Roach Warren that, 2 bunkers and a Cyclone, especially since he looks like he's targeting a Cyclone. No, he targeted the Roach.
Well, that bunker goes down like an immortal, busting it. Second bunker falls too. I don't think he's got enough to keep pushing through this.
Where's the Corrosive? There we go.
There we go.
It all misses, though.
Yeah, he had busted the bunker with it, of course, right? So he's still getting a lot of damage done. Picks off quite a few SCVs, but his hatchery was late for this. The timing was certainly off with this being what it was. Almost kills his own Overlord with that Corrosive Bile. The Marines finish it off.
It was almost a good one, though. Almost hit the Cyclone. Still, though, you see how fast those Ravagers really attack. Not so bad, just 1v1ing themselves. But, Puck... Yeah, that was good damage, but he really wasn't able to safely get his own drones behind this.
Yeah.
So he's still going to be roaches to defend, and he's still going to lose out in that economy war, which has been the name of the game when he was Protoss, and now it's the name of the Zerg game.
So one of the big problems here too, I think. Well, that sucks. I really wish he had Burrow, because it would have actually helped with the Cyclone damage a lot. There's not a lot that will break that lock on. Hell, losing line of sight, you can't lose line of sight. You lock on, you can still see that unit from forever away. High ground, low ground, doesn't matter. But Burrow will break the Cyclone damage. So it's kind of what I was also hoping he would open with it. Again, would be really helpful right here, just dodge out some of the shots. But the Marauder's shooting 2 shots at a time. Roaches do come equipped with a little bit of armor, so not as good as they used to be, but still pretty darn good as we can see.
There's that tank to protect it and just the plain roaches. He's on the high ground too, it's nice.
He's still just all inning with this though, and I guess perhaps for him he's like, I'm a little too far behind. I know I didn't make those drones earlier, so I'm just gonna keep all inning. But I feel like if you didn't win with this already, you're not gonna win when Xenocider has more.
He has 4 CCs. Like, you're kind of dead.
I mean, I applaud Puck for trying to change it up here in the last game. What was the prize pool split for this one, by the way? 150. So, like, okay, 100 first place, 50. Okay, so not bad. I mean, even if Puck goes down in this game, it's still a good chunk of change.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, I didn't realize how fast this would go, but maybe, or how one-sided, really. I think that's the biggest problem. That asking to play all 7 games could have been a possibility, but
I'm actually almost glad we didn't, though, because it's one-sided, I really want to hear Puck's thoughts on, the post-game analysis when we talk to the players. Like, Xenocider's obviously come in. He's a cocky son of a bitch anyways. Like, even if he lost the series, he'd be like, oh, I just let him win, it's Xenocider for you. But Puck, I think, would have some pretty valid points about, like, what didn't work. There's definitely going to be, I think, a little bit of salt for losing, but these guys are both so talented, and there's so much respect for what they already do in North America as far as HOTS goes. I want to hear what they have to say here with their impressions on Legacy of the Void.
It'll be the exact opposite of Kane ripping off his shirt in excitement after beating Paul.
He'll put on like 7 extra shirts and just kind of like, yeah, hey guys, what's up?
And just like sit grumpily like it's winter and be like, ugh.
Well, he's built up quite a few Ravagers, and stressing that Corrosive Bile, it's got a lot of damage. I still don't think he's going to win an all-in. I don't think he'll break this base. Actually, he may break the 1 base, but killing Xenocider outright just seems out of the question. The mobility of the Cyclones alone should be enough to defeat this.
Yeah, and he doesn't have roach speed, so it's quite hard to catch up to him. Xenocider.
I would have loved to see oh my god, Puck do like
first time
in a long time. Anything else from the new stuff, right? Like Lurkers maybe, or the Cracklings, Ultras with +7 armor versus a bio player. I mean, there's a lot of really cool ways you could have taken this, but I guess all-inning is all he had in store. A Nidus Swarm even would have been cool too. Nidus Swarms, for those who don't know, they're invulnerable until they finish burrowing, or unburrowing rather. You can actually build that Nidus Swarm up pretty easily.
Yeah. So Puck starts droning a little bit, I guess. That was kind of odd, and then makes 5 Ravagers.
A misclick maybe?
10 misclicks, sure. He might be thinking that the Ravager force is literally so scary that it is doing that threatening maneuver that he could have done maybe earlier. But apparently they're not, and the Ravager's getting wrecked by Cyclones.
Ravagers are really good for kiting, though, as we see. You can land some really nice Corrosive Bile hits. It's really hard to chase into this, but, I mean, his army supply is down. His worker count is down.
Yeah, this might sound really bad, and you're gonna, like, hate me for it, but I kind of wish the Ravager did more splash.
I agree. They did more splash when we got to play with them at BlizzCon, and it didn't feel super broken. It was a little bit strong, but Ravagers are so gross to look at. GG.
Those can be changed like number, because right now the Ravager honestly isn't just, it doesn't feel impactful. Kind of the same thing with Lurkers. So even though Ravagers are included in ZVZ, they don't make it any more fun.
Agreed.
Like, oh, that hit. Oh, well,
Well, it looks like that's going to wrap up the show match. Xenocider will take a very convincing 4-0 victory. Very proud to see him do well. I hope he'll play in the Legacy of the Lima League next. In fact, I'm going to ask him, yo, dog, you gonna play Legacy Lima League after? In the meantime, though, guys, what we're going to do is we'll go on a small ad break. Zombie Grub's going to invite these guys to the call. We'll get them on. We'll hear their thoughts. We'll get some cameras up if we can. And we'll see you guys in a couple minutes with the post-game analysis. Now, this is not like a post-game interview. We're not like, how do you feel about winning 4-0 in a best-of-7 show? Like, we want to hear their thoughts on Legacy of the Void, the idea on how imbalanced it is, and all this other jazz. So stick around for that. After that's done, in half an hour, we've got the Legacy of the Alima League tournament for Legacy of the Void coming up, too. So more to come. See you guys in 2 minutes. All right, set up us the button.